It took European auto companies 10 years and 9 months to move from Euro 4 to Euro 5 emission norms and eventually to Euro 6. This was between January 2005 and September 2015. On the other hand, Indian auto companies that adopted BS or Bharat Stage 4 norms pan-India in April 2017 have got 3 years to hop, skip and jump to BS 6 levels. They will be skipping BS 5 norms and will have to be ready with their BS 6 vehicles on April 1, 2020. That's a huge challenge, but surprisingly Mahindra & Mahindra has smartly chiseled away the several challenges into a multitude of opportunities. In a knowledge sharing session on demystifying BS 6, Dr Pawan Goenka, Managing Director Mahindra & Mahindra, and Rajan Vadhera, President Automotive Sector Mahindra & Mahindra, along with the team, told journalists that not only is M&M ready with their entire diesel portfolio, but they have also developed a series of gasoline engines, all of which meet BS 6 norms and do not compromise on fuel efficiency, power, drivability, or fun of driving. So what does the M&M Armada consist of? For diesel, that includes 8 engines, 16 platforms and 38 variants. All of these are now BS 6 compliant. As for gasoline, the company is ready with 8 engines, 8 platforms and 12 variants. It took the company more than rupees 1,000 crore of investment, fine-tuning more than 2,000 parts for both diesel and gasoline engines, new test beds and equipment at the Mahindra Research Valley in Chennai, and not to forget the efforts of M&M's huge force of engineers, their consultants from Bosch, AVL and Delphi, and key suppliers like Magneti Marelli, Garrett, Valeo, Delphi TVS, Tenneco, among others. Today, more than 76 Mahindra vehicles are running across the country for all kinds of validation for the BS 6 norms. Goenka said that one of the challenges was to develop a portfolio of petrol engines which are globally competitive. Given that we did not have petrol engines at that time, we probably had an advantage that the petrol engines we would launch would be the latest technology petrol engines, he said. We also filed for 30 plus patents in the process, informed Goenka. They say that hard work always pays. With its portfolio of new gasoline engines, the company has already got a stamp of approval from both Ford and SsangYong, wherein they want to use Mahindra's new petrol engines in their vehicles. The 1.2 turbo MPFI inline 3-cylinder all-aluminium engine, which produces around 110 HP and around 190 to 200 Newton meters of peak torque, and which is already in the XUV 300, will be BS 6 ready in another 3 to 4 months. This engine will be used by Ford next year for its platforms. Another turbo GDI inline 3-cylinder engine producing 130 HP and 230 Newton meters of peak torque is available in both Euro 6 and BS 6 version. This will go into the SsangYong platform early next year. The engine uses a 250 bar system. Goenka said the challenge before the company is not as much about being ready, but in managing the transition flawlessly. Just imagine that we have to ramp up and ramp down 100% volume of our automotive business in a short span of 2 to 3 months. That's a humongous challenge for suppliers and for our plants. The second challenge will be the demand for the new products. It may be recalled that the Supreme Court has ruled that the last day of selling BS 4 vehicles in the country is March 31st, 2020. Said Goenka, overnight we cannot switch from BS 4 to BS 6. That's not possible. We have to start selling from sometime January or February 2020. He stated BS 6 fuel needs to be available pan-India. In a BS 6 vehicle, you cannot put BS 4 fuel. It will immediately choke. The system will practically stop functioning. So in order to sell a single vehicle of BS 6 fuel will have to be available. Fuel has to be available from January 1, 2020 at least. The company also has to inform its suppliers around October and November 2019 as to how many BS 4 vehicles will be made. Whatever is not sold by March 31st, 2020 becomes scrap. So by latest mid-November 2019, we have to tell how many BS4 vehicles are going to be made. We have to begin ramping up BS6 models. Any last-minute change will be disastrous, warned Goenka. By early October 2019, the Petroleum Ministry has to give us a firm timeline on the availability of BS6 fuel, he clarified. Will these new BS6 vehicles be a lot more expensive than what it is today? There will be some sticker shock. It is there everywhere in the world, more so because of the two-step jump. Customers are by and large prepared for it. My guess is that for above 4 meter, a number below a lakh, smaller vehicle rupees 80,000 or so, petrol around rupees 20 to 25,000, but if they go into TGDI, then it becomes diesel kind, he said. Coming back to the several technological tasks that M&M not only took up and successfully accomplished, it was in essence all about reducing NOx, particulate matter, hydrocarbons and carbon dioxide. That meant a lot of changes had to be made at the engine level as well as the exhaust level. The right use of lean NOx trap LNT technology and the selective catalytic reduction SCR technology had to be adopted for the engines. The engine control unit or the engine control module had to be spruced up big time because of the presence of several sensors. As for ensuring the right NVH levels, fuel efficiency, drivability, the company had to look at every friction part that was rotating or moving so that they could reduce the friction and get the benefit. They worked on the turbocharger, on the fuel injection system, the exhaust system, on the exhaust gas recirculation system, touched every rotating and moving part, and in the process got a 30% friction reduction out of the system, which got the company an increased fuel efficiency for the engines. The cost was always a challenge. So while a typical European model incurred an X cost in its transition from Euro 4 to Euro 6, the company fixed an internal target of 0.6x. It managed to get 0.5x cost increase only, which was quite commendable. After their marathon efforts, all current M&M engines which are currently in production are getting upgraded to BS6. In the gasoline portfolio, a 4-cylinder turbo GDI engine producing 163 horsepower and 280 Newton meters of peak torque will find application in C-segment cars. This engine is co-developed with SsangYong. It is a global engine in terms of technology and features. Also, next year there will be a new gasoline engine which will enhance Mahindra's reputation in gasoline engines in future. And there has been a fallout too of this transition. Goenka informed that the company is not taking the 1.2 litre diesel engine that powers the KUV 100 to the BS6 level. The cost increase will not be justified in this segment, he said. He also informed that the company has stopped the Jito van as it had to be equipped with airbag and ABS as norms, which was simply not affordable for the segment. Now that M&M has done its homework so perfectly, we will have to see how the new Modi government gets its act together to make sure BS6 fuel is available pan-India by the end of this year at least.